Diagnosis: MS multiple sclerosis. I could still rant about a certain doctor. The event is about a year and a half past and happened about 2 months before my diagnosis. But this still bubbles and broils within me, and I hope that when I make this public, people may understand why. About a year and a half ago, I woke up at night with the most intense pain I ever felt. I had broken bones and nasty infections in the past that were nothing. I'm rather pain resistant, and when I say this pain was so intense, I cried and screamed. You may get an idea how bad it was. The pain was from my hips downwards through both of my legs, the right one worse than the left. It was stinging like burning alive. It was freezing, painfully cold, and so itchy, pulling and electrocuting. I was scared to call an ambulance, and I didn't know what was wrong, so I popped some ibuprofen, smoked some weed. The pain lasted, but I also passed out entirely because it was that bad. The next day, I woke again after God knows how many hours of sleep, though it was first not as severe. It was night again, and after waking, it took only an hour before the pain increased so badly that I willingly called an ambulance, which is something I never did before. They took me to the hospital. I was still crying and screaming, twisting in agony. Then, in the emergency ambulance, the doctor came into the room with a face that spoke of hate at first sight. She made some tests with me, like touching my nose with one hand or walking in a straight line while asking me questions. Her tone spoke already a story of, "I do not believe you a single word." She then looked at my arm and asked me about my old self-harm scars. Yes, they're very visible, but at this point, I was already 3 years harm-free. She then gave me a chill pill and told me calmly and a yet spiteful tone that I'm in the wrong hospital and that I am imagining the pain. It's psychosomatic, and with that, she simply sent me home whilst I still had to bear this agony. How dare they? Ever since that day, I can't walk properly nor a lot anymore. A month and a half later or so, I had a visual nerve inflammation. MRT was made, puncture too, and the diagnosis came like a hammer swiftly. MS! I am certain to this very day that if this doctor would have believed me, I may be able to walk properly, and probably more than I can now. This story still makes me cry. This event still hurts emotionally, as much as the most intense pain I could ever fathom.